How's it going, YouTube? I'm back with a quick video. I just wanted to get something off of my spirit that God has, put on my spirit this morning to speak about. I've noticed, like I always speak about, that Satan has infiltrated everything, right? Everything has been put in place for the times that we are in now. He's also infiltrated the internet. He's infiltrated the whole thing where it comes to God opening up the eyes of his people, the spiritual eyes of his people. Whether you want to call them the 144, you want to call them the first fruits, you want to call them TIs, like I spoke of before. TIs are, they're harassed for different reasons, right? They can be whistleblowers, they can be fake, just trying to deceive the true elect from not understanding what's really going on. Um, they can speak on the subject and give out, certain subject matter that they shouldn't have put out there. But the system was mainly put in place for the 144, right? Like I've said, they've been waiting for us, to be spiritually awake in the time that we're in now. As Daniel spoke of, the Most High told Daniel, seal up these things until the time of the end. Well, guess what? They're being unsealed and we're being awakened, right? They don't want us to be connected. They don't want us to find out who are the true first fruits of the Most High, the 144. They're in fear. They're running out of time. I wanted to give you some tips on how to filter out the fakes from the real, right? At least from what God has shown me personally. I've been through so much, there's certain things that I can't even tell my own wife because the things that God shows me are on a different level that someone whose eyes are not open would not understand, you know. The one that I do speak to that really truly understands is my mother. Like I said, she was there with me when I had this heart attack on her sofa. She knows about the persecution. She knows what time we're in. She knows what's going on. But as far as filtering out the fakes from the real, right? This is what God has shown me. A true soldier of Christ, a true soldier in this end time army that God has spoken about in Joel chapter 2. They are going to have no fear of death. They've already been through the valley of the shadow of death. They've sought death. They've wanted to die. They don't care for this life. They hate this world. They hate wickedness because of everything that has been done to them by this demonic system. Um, they don't care. They want to go to war on behalf of the kingdom. They're ready to lay down their life. Uh, they have a very, very special connection with the Most High where they can hear Him very clearly. Um, he will speak to them in a way that they will only understand. He will tailor their experience. God will tailor the experience to that certain individual. They're like outcasts. Nobody understands them. Um, from what I've noticed, everywhere I go, there seems to be some kind of destruction around me, whether they're car wrecks, whether people ending up in prison that have persecuted you, uh, hospitals being shut down that they have taken you to. They've took me to that hospital 6 times and it got shut down. Things like that. You'll see God working on your behalf. You'll see God going to war and answering your prayers as long as they're in line with His will, right? So these are characteristics of a true soldier. Um, then you got the fakes that are fear mongering, saying, oh, all they want to speak about is the physical aspect, that we're being harassed physically. But they don't speak about the spiritual aspect, right? That it's all from the demonic realm and it has infiltrated the physical. They inhabit the vulnerable vessels that we call people. The evil acts that they do come from a spiritual. It's spiritual warfare, right? They don't speak about how to bind these up in prayer. They don't speak about, rebuking and binding, casting out demons, rebuking hexes and vexes, incantation, all this stuff. what we call spiritual warfare. They want you focused on the physical attacks so that your mind is so engulfed and worried about the physical attacks. This flesh is gonna go. We're all gonna go, right? We need to use the flesh while we're here to get the job done. These 144, I don't believe that they're even, God has a special hedge of protection. There's warring angels all around this elite group. So they're not able to die. Yes, they're going to feel pain. Yes, they're going to go to war. Yes, they're going to preach the gospel, but they will not die. God says about them that they will fall upon the sword, but they will not die, right? So be discernful with these so-called TIs that you see. Some of them have been put there to mislead you, right? They've infiltrated even the very subject that we speak upon, as I speak all the time. They've infiltrated everything. The system's been in play since before we were even born, for generations now. Satan has had 6,000 years to perfect the deception of man. He's very good at what he does. This is where the demonic elite get a lot of their intelligence. The demonic technology that they come up with, it's coming from a higher power. Not the most high power, but a higher power, which is this spiritual intelligence. We get heavenly intellect that comes from the Most High God. You know, it's not even on the level of what we are going to receive, right? But what they get is it's intelligence from a demonic being, right? This is why they can develop certain things, and they develop biological warfare. This isn't from their own minds. If you don't believe me, go back and read what's his name, Isaac Newton. He was into all these things. They've put pastors, they've put theologians into place to confuse the 144, to confuse the true doctrine. The rapture, the way they preach, that's a lie. We're not going to be, people are waiting around looking at the world saying, whoa, when it gets bad, God's going to snatch us up and take us away. No. God says that when the days mimic the days of Noah, look up because your redemption draws nigh, right? He says the only ones that escaped were the 8 that went into the boat, right? Into the ark. The rest were taken away, right? Taken away. They were killed. They were taken away, right? These demonic elites, the lost, are going to be taken away. We will stay here to reign for 1,000 years, and then a new heaven and a new Jerusalem, and you know the story. But I just want to put it out there. Be discernful when you watch. God has confirmed to me, I'm going to say 4 individuals that I know that are part of this elite group, because the way they speak and things that they have said are the exact things that I experienced when I was perishing on the sofa and I began to see spiritual things. I could see, I seen something coming out of, I spoke about it before, a demon coming out of an Indian calendar. That's Eastern mysticism. I've come to know that is Shiva, the demonic, they call her a goddess. She's no god. She too shall be cast into the pit. They put a statue up for her at CERN. That's all that is called dark matter. They're trying to create a large portal for these demonic beings that have been, God says that he has bound them up. They will be released, but we will be supernaturally protected, right? So there's no fear. We're going to go to war. It's going to be a spiritual war that may later manifest into the physical. That's why I say stay locked and loaded, spiritually and physically. Stay locked and loaded. But keep your eyes on these who practice iniquities. They're children of the night, right? We're children of the light. God calls us blameless, We're blameless and upright. Why? Not because of what we do, but because we're covered in the blood of the Most High, right? So be discernful. They're always fear-mongering. They're always just talking about the attacks. They never give you a solution. I'm going to give you the solution. It's prayer, petition, and fasting. Your attacks will not stop right away, but they will begin to subside. I miss the hands-on warfare, to be honest with you. But I see many out there just fearful, afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. It kind of angers me. I got this righteous anger when I see these things. That's another telltale sign of a true soldier. They're ready to go to war. They're ready to lay down their lives to advance the kingdom of the Most High God. What God can do through a man who empties himself of himself, therefore the Spirit can inhabit our vessel and do its work here on earth, just like these demonic beings enter the vessels of the people that we see on the streets, and they do those things, right? They got no empathy. They are of their father, the devil, and we are of our Father, the Most High. Yeshua HaMashiach, Yahweh, whatever you want to call him. As long as he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we're all good. We're serving the same God. But if you deter from that, that's false doctrine, right? So be vigilant, be sober-minded. Test all things, test all spirits. The majority of them out there are fakes. The only reason that I put all my scars and my wounds on my previous videos is to show you that what I speak has happened, not to put fear in the people. Who cares about the flesh? It's going to burn up. Who cares? Let's get the most that we can out of these vessels while we're here. Let's lay down our lives for our fellow brethren, right? We're not to be cowards. Cowards will not inherit the kingdom of God. Right? True soldiers, right? Martyrs for Christ, right? Just like Christ says, the souls of the martyrs speak out from under the altar. I know you've read that in Revelation. So I apologize for the agitation in my voice, but this is getting ridiculous, people. This is getting ridiculous. You got to be discernful. As for the spirit of discernment, the spirit of truth, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, God will let you filter out all the lies and see through the fakes. Right? So we can expose it, right? Help those there are some that that might be just getting awakened right now. So they're not having these spiritual encounters. They're not having the visions that I speak of once or twice a week where God awakes me, that I've spoke about on previous. Maybe they're not at that point yet. But be discernful. If they're not giving you a solution and they're not telling you that this is spiritual warfare that has manifested into the physical, that's why it's called, they want to keep the term gang stalking and TI and electronic harassment and directed energy weapons. Yes, so what? It's just call it demonic technology. So what? We're going to war, Oh my Lord, help me with this one. Vechayid lo vechoach peruche lemo Yahweh. We're not going to do this by power or by might, but by the Spirit of the Most High God. We're going to get it done, right? I'm watching these fools. I'm watching them closely, and I rebuke them in the mighty name of Jesus. I rebuke them. Scoffers, your chains are going to become heavier. You mockers, you scoffers. They're fearful. They don't want us to understand the power that God is about to unleash on his people. The first fruits, right? They shall be judged, and we're going to help in that. So we're going to help to judge them, right? Let's be ready witnesses as God speaks about. He's going to be a ready witness against all sorcerers, idolaters, those who practice this forbidden art, this black magic, Eastern mysticism, right? They're going to get judged. It's their time now. And God says, let's see if your demons can help you now. As he speaks about, I believe it's in the book of Isaiah. He speaks about it. He says, they can't even save themselves. How are they going to help you to be delivered from the wrath of the Most High God, from the wrath of the Lamb? They can't save themselves. He says, call out to your demon hordes. Call them out. Let's see what they can do. We are in the time right now. The book of Isaiah is all prophecy. Dual prophecies being fulfilled now, right now. That's where we're at right now. If you want to understand what's happening right now, read Isaiah 42, 44, 45, 57. These are the trumps, the end time prophets, the 144 that are this is what's happening right now. So filter out the lies. If they're not giving you the truth about what this is, unsubscribe. And I'm noticing the ones that are really speaking truth, they're suppressing their videos. They're not having much subscribers or much views. That's how you can know. Look at the videos that have the less amount of views. Those are the ones speaking the truth. Stay kingdom up.